I really don't know. Like I said, maybe the management, maybe Tommy and whoever else was he was really close to. Maybe they knew. We were just speculating. The wrestlers. A lot of us were speculating if he was going to WWE because we didn't know. We didn't know the ins and outs. Like I said, especially the ring crew, we were like the flunkies. You want to say we were important, but we were very important, but we were like, we were like the younger brother. Just stay down here. You don't need to be in grown folks' business. And so, and we didn't really pry that much because, like I said, we were on contract. So the merchandise money that was coming from T-shirt sales wasn't ours. We weren't worried about that. I think actually some of us were getting paid from that. Tommy was taking the merch money and paying us when the money was low, if I'm not mistaken. So none of us had T-shirts. I didn't have no Chili Willy T-shirts being sold. So I didn't have any toy. What do you call it? Toy replicas, being sold, or I wasn't on no game console or shit like that. So we were just happy, man, just to be wrestling and being with ECW, and we didn't know what really was going on. We just didn't see Paul at certain times, and at certain times we saw him. We definitely saw him pay-per-view times, but a lot of house shows and stuff like that. No, we wouldn't see him that towards the end of ECW.
Now, were you surprised at all when it closed and ECW was done?
Yeah, when I didn't wrestle the last couple of shows. Once Tommy came to us and said, "Hey, this is closing, whatever," and then 9/11 hit. That's when I saw, for me, the writing on the wall. I was like, because I was a lot older, not a lot older, but I was at the time 30, 31. So I was like, I always wanted kind of to be in the military somewhat. So maybe this is my chance. I'm not quite 38, I'm 30, 31. So I'll go sign up. And so at that time, that's when I signed up for the military, and I went to the military. And ECW still, they were doing their thing, but they did it it was really dissolved. And I think they had a couple more shows, and that was the end of it, But I remember Tommy telling me, you don't have to drive up for this show, or blah, blah, blah for this show. And when he said that, then I knew, I need to start looking for another job or something. And so instead of continuing wrestling, I said I'll go in the military and, in case something happens or I get hurt, I don't have a job, and I needed a job. So I said I'm going to take my black ass in the fucking military. And I didn't want to go to war, but, shit happens. When you sign up for Uncle Sam, it's whatever he tells you. And so, yeah, that's what happened with me, man. I went in the military.
Now, you mentioned before the cliques in ECW and different kind of, the party animals and the girls that love the certain guys, stuff like that. Was that really prevalent in ECW? There's hopefully stories that the partying and the drugs and everything else was very prevalent.
Bro. Was
that more so in ECW than any other place you've been?
Yes. Even now, when I started wrestling, SCW, the owner of SCW, Grog, he would do a show in Raleigh, North Carolina, at this bar called King's Bar. Well, that was my first time of wrestling at a bar and so forth, and we would have good times, wrestling. Our shenanigans there were nothing compared to what when I went to ECW. The most that we would have when it came to shenanigans at SCW was after the show you go to the Waffle House. You might see someone out in the parking lot making out and drinking or whatever. But when I got to ECW, it was a whole new world, man. It was like a party every time we wrestled. every time we had a wrestling show, it was like a party afterwards, and the camaraderie with wrestlers, man, was like being in the military. Because if you mess with any one of us, the whole crew was coming after you, and we were just a tight knit family, regardless of our bickering inside. If we had bickering inside, we were just tight. It was an honor and pleasure working with guys like New Jack, Sandman, Balls Mahoney. You know, these guys would do some serious crazy shit, man. I'm telling you. I mean, before the match, they would be getting lit up, and then it's like after the match, they would be lit up, you know. But hey, they wouldn't miss a beat when it came to the ring, you know. When they came inside of the ring, you know, these guys were on point. Sandman was on point, you know. But there were times when, you know, shit would get really out of control. Like when we went to Florida, and Sandman was just so total. He was wasted, and I think he went out to the ring or something, and his pants came down or something, or he pulled his pants down. Anyway, it was just fucking, it was crazy. You know, there was fights inside the locker room, but we were brothers and sisters, and we banded together, and it was just fun. I had never been into a locker room since then, you know, that could even come close to the camaraderie that we had, and the love that we had with each other, plus the shenanigans all going on at once.